Welcome to Little Suburban Homestead. Glad you're back with us. We are going to be talking about a subject that's come up a lot recently in videos that we've seen about the no buy revolution or rebellion. I can't be sure
Movement.
on
There's
that
a lot of people
movement.
calling it a lot of different things.
Just our take on it a little bit. I know we've talked about finances before, but just a little different twist here, and we feel like we've been moving in this direction for quite some time, um, and we just wanted to give you our thoughts.
Yeah, so we keep seeing these videos pop up, and I know it's all about the algorithm and everything like that, but it's become a real movement. This no buy movement, no buy rebellion, no buy revolution, whatever they want to call it. But it's all about, and we've talked about this before about not about becoming financially independent, being better, well, more better, well off financially, however you want to say it. And I got to thinking about it this week because they were announcing that they're possibly thinking about 50-year mortgages. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. So most people in their 20s cannot do like we did. We got our first mortgage. Wow, when was that? Well, it was 86, I think, is when we finally did that.
Yeah.
Bought a house that my dad told us not to buy. We paid $35,000 for it. And before you think that was a great deal, no, it wasn't. It was an absolute shack, and it was a pile of junk. It had all the electrical was run through two fuses, and I mean fuses, screw-in fuses, two. We found automotive wire, and oh my goodness, it was just. I mean, we don't want to get off onto that, but anyway, and did a huge remodel, totally new carpet, everything, totally remodeled the place, and turned around and sold it a couple of years later for $35,000. So, but not the smartest thing that we ever did. Listening to mom and dad was a better deal, and we started doing that more. So, I guess if you really want to look at something, a lot of people that might be watching this channel might be younger than we are, and so I guess you could kind of consider us your mom and dad. Start listening to some advice here, and I guess I'll preface that with whatever works for us. We're just suggesting that you do. You don't have to come out and you don't have to do what we're telling you to do, but we suggest that you might want to think, hey, they've been around the block, and so we might want to listen to what they're saying. So along those lines, the no buy revolution, we'll call it, is not where you're not buying anything. Some people have taken it to extremes, and you can take it to whatever extreme you want. A lot of people have said, well, we're not just going to buy anything new, and we're just going to buy all used. Okay, if you can do that, then you'll be much better off too. You have to be a very cautious buyer. You can't, of course, these days with the absolute junk that people are selling. I've got another YouTube channel. We talk about cars and stuff, and it's oh my goodness. I mean, because that's what I do for a living, and it's just amazing the amount of things that we can't do daily. We're running into things that we can't fix at our shop, and we have to send to a specialist or a dealer. And here's the rub: most dealers don't want to mess with it either. So you send your car down there, and they die. They'll sit on the lot for months. They're just hoping you're going to trade the thing in. Anyway, we're not going to get off on that, but although I guess we could start there because the no buy revolution actually starts with maybe your car. For a lot of people, they're looking for the monthly payment. They're thinking, I could do that. Well, we got stuck in that trap too. We could do that. We could make the payment. Of course, as long as you got a financed car, I'll just say too that your insurance company, your insurance company is going to want to have full coverage insurance on anything that is financed. And of course, the state wants you to prove that you've got insurance. We see so many brand new cars here with sometimes a year or 2 year expired license plates, the paper plates that they give you. I've noticed that Texas now is not doing a paper plate anymore because they're trying to do away with this. So you got to think: are they do they not only have no registration, no current registration on this new car, but they probably don't have any insurance either because they're barely making the payments. So the no buy revolution just went haywire right there. You're never going to be able to sell that car for what you got into it, and you're upside down. So anyway, it's just so many things. So what is the no buy revolution? I hope you don't mind. We just kind of started um, free thinking a bunch of notes here and putting stuff down. So a lot of this may make sense, a lot of it might not. But the no buy revolution, basically, why don't you take the first one there? We'll come to that one together.
So we've started visiting ARC, the thrift stores a whole
Mm-hmm.
lot more, um, and buying what we can from there if we need something. And need, what does that mean? Um, we don't need the newest fashions.
The newest
That's
iPhone, the newest Samsung, the newest whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So many people believe that they need the newest items, the newest whatever, and we're not into that at all. We buy what we can from thrift stores, or we do without a lot of the time. And it's not that we don't have the money; it's that we want to think frugally and honor God with how we spend our money and what we buy. Um,
I almost say right off too, we have the money to be able to go down to any dealership that you want, except for maybe Mercedes, something real high end. Put the cash down, buy a brand new car, and it would not dent our finances. It would be really incredibly stupid of us to do so. It really would.
mm,
People don't really think about that. I mean, just imagine. Okay, so the average car these days, most people don't understand that your average car has bigger tires than it did, say, 15 years ago. And so when that thing needs tires because auto manufacturers always put out the cheapest tires that they possibly can on the car. So they're going to wear out in about 20 to 30,000 miles. And then when you find out that your tires are $200 to $300 each and you need new tires,
mm,
then what? Okay, so I
it's a
just
lot
wanted
of
to throw
money.
that out there too. We could have a bigger house. We could have a bigger house. We don't want a bigger house. So anyway, sorry to interrupt you there, but I thought I'd
That's
throw that out
okay.
there.
Yeah. Um, we buy new only when it's necessary. Um, so we're always thinking, okay, what can we do to make this work without having to go buy something brand new? Or we fix what we
Hmm.
have if it's broken. Um,
Yeah, learn to fix stuff. It's not things are not that hard. Just because it quits operating doesn't necessarily mean that it's junk.
we drive a 26-year-old car and a 15 year
Yeah,
old
it's 15-year
car,
old.
um, and thankfully I have somebody that knows what he's doing with cars here, so
It,
that's a benefit for me. But there's
yeah, in all fairness, that does help that I know how to fix cars. So, but okay, get this. So if you don't know how to fix things, maybe you know somebody who does. Find out somebody who does. Maybe you do a different skill. Maybe
mm-hmm,
trade some things. Maybe trade some physical items um, for somebody being able to help you out. Um, whatever, garden
yeah,
stuff, whatever. I don't know. You've got to start getting into this mode of being able to barter, trade,
barter, yeah.
whatever like that. Okay, so there's a ton of people out there that'll say, hey, yeah, I can fix your car. It's not going to be that big of a deal, and whatever you've got, and so I don't know what you might have something that they want. So that happens a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
can tell you, having an older car and a reliable car. Um, well, as long as it is, I mean, they're simpler, and we keep getting stuck on the car thing. But I mean, it kind of, I guess, life revolves around those stupid machines, and they do, and it kind of starts there. So if you're upside down in a brand new car, or even a used car, say you've gone out and you bought some. So here's, I'll just tell you right off the bat, nobody, nobody wakes up in the morning and said, "Man, I absolutely love that car. Just love that car. I think I'll sell it today." Nobody does that. What they do is they wake up and they go, oh, I am so sick and tired of this thing, and now it needs this and this and this, and they don't, and so they try to throw it on Facebook Marketplace, and they can't. They get a bunch of scammers, all I'm not going to name the ethnic groups, but I think everybody knows who they are. And you can't sell it, or they try to chew you down by half and so on. So you think, okay, well, I'll take it to the dealer because they'll just take it off my hands. So they may or may not give you some decent money for it, or you owe more than you see where that's going right there. So yeah, it's you, just try to find some help. Barter and everything like that really helps.
Yeah. Um,
So we were talking about what define by only new when it's necessary. So here's something I did. Went to a local retailer who I'm so glad that they're actually going out of business because their business ethics are bad. Anyway, they're a nationwide chain, and we're not going to go into who they are. But they were selling. This was about 4 or 5 years ago. They were selling at the time Levi's 505s that I like because they're durable. They last a long time. And they were like $75, $80 for a pair of pants. And I was just choked. I couldn't believe it. And I thought at the time, I was like, well, I wonder if I can get some on eBay, maybe used and so on like that. I got near new to new. I bought 4 or 5 pairs of jeans. One actually, I think they threw in the dryer and they shrunk it. So that was a loss there. But at the time, I don't think I paid more than about $25 in there, more or less for each pair.
Yeah.
I remember buying 4 pairs of jeans for less than I could have bought a brand new pair of jeans at this retailer. So now 4 or 5 years later, I've been wearing these jeans, every day, rotating them through and so on, and they're starting to get kind of tired. And so I'm going to go back on eBay and I'm going to find some more. And I just before we made this video, I was just seeing on there where I can buy some good jeans, near new to new, and I can probably buy about 3 or 4 pairs for that $80 to $100 for that they want for a brand new pair. So you think about that, and she's when she wants a pair.
Yeah. I shopped at Arc recently for jeans. I got one really good pair that I'm wearing now. The other pair was exactly the same as another pair that I'd had before, and they worked perfectly. I wore them out from wearing them so often for several years, and got them home, wore them a couple times, and they split.
Yeah, they were probably washed with a detergent that was a little hard on them.
So there is that.
But what they were, like $7 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
not a whole lot of money that I
not
wasted
talking
on that.
Yeah, not talking about a deal breaker and everything like that. So that's just kind of an example of things that you would. So right now we're actually thinking I still have my old record collection, and those big black CDs. In case you're in your 20s or 30s. You can flip them over and listen to the other side. Anyway, so we're looking on Marketplace. I will have nothing to do with the Chinese junk that's on eBay and Amazon that they say is good. So I'm just not going to go there. I want 70s or 80s quality.
And that's
so
another point that we had was to buy items that will last and not just the cheapest junk.
Yep. So I'm looking.
It's gonna die.
I've got several options around the city of people that have got whole stereo units and stuff like that. I want one with a cassette tape player. One of those. I know I've just lost about half of you. AM FM stereo and a decent record player. And so we don't use it all the time, but I figured from what I'm seeing, I can probably pick one up for about $150. And here's the great thing about Marketplace too. For the most part, there's the odd person out. Most people that I meet on Marketplace are super nice people, super nice people. You get the weird duck, but most people are so super nice. You have a good conversation with them. You talk a little bit, have a nice day, and you've made each other better just for the transaction. It's just great. Mm-hmm. So we have yet to get screwed on Marketplace. So, but be careful, be very careful. You got to. There's some protocols that you might want to follow. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So we, again, use what we have until it becomes necessary to buy a new item.
Mm-hmm.
If we have fixed it or we can't fix it, and it's just become junk, it's not going to work, then we'll go looking for something used first.
Which is rare, by the way. Things usually last longer than you probably will. So think about that.
Yeah.
Because most people, they want to get rid of something just because, it's out of fashion or whatever. So when we first got married, I remember thinking I had a little Escort. It was an '81 Escort, the first year they were made, and it was getting to be about 4 or 5 years old. And we were like, wow, we need to sell this because it is 4 or 5 years old. I'm like, where did I get that? My mom and dad didn't raise us with that mentality. I have no idea where we got that from. And we got out of that. Well, I can tell you why we got out of it is because we had 3 kids. And so we started driving things that moved, reliably, mostly reliably. And, my goodness, I'm not going to get into our finances then, but it was awful. So, but then I'll tell you what, and I don't want to talk about this just a little bit. We got sucked back into, in the early 90s, it was like 91 or 2. We got sucked into a network marketing company. It's the biggest company in America. We'll just leave it at that. And nothing wrong with the company or anything like that. But our upline encouraged us to have nicer, newer cars, nicer, newer houses, and everything. And so then we went into this death spiral that we were in debt beyond what we could imagine for years. And
bought a bigger house, bought
Yep.
nicer cars,
Yep.
and went into crazy debt.
Crazy debt. And so that's a big, huge thing right now with the no buy revolution is no debt. Just refuse it. Don't get into any debt. No credit cards, no debt. Just don't do it. Well, that's enough about that. Now let's see what else we got here. So we talked about, yeah, I mean, I think we pretty much defined about, what you've got to think about. Do you really need something? So let's go ahead and talk about the nails and things like that. Go ahead and do that.
So my thinking on beauty is very simple. I don't wear makeup myself, and it irritates my eyes. So I've alleviated a lot of money there, and I know for a lot of people they want some of that, and yes, there are ways to do that frugally, and I think you can. But just I think being wise about how much and thinking about staying away from being vain. um, Not that people are thinking that way, but going and getting your nails done every 2 weeks at the salon, I think can be overdoing it, spending too much money. Some people need to have that. They have a problem of biting nails or they just break off constantly, and I can see that. But I paint my own nails. Because mine aren't great either, so I need nail polish on them usually to keep them from breaking off. So I do my own. It may not look salon quality, but it's definitely a more money conscious way of handling that and looking nice. I think you can make them look nice yourself.
Yep, for sure. And so when you have to buy something new, we touched on this a little earlier and everything like that, but really, really try to avoid anything from Asia. We'll just put it that way. And I realized that most of what was made in the 70s and 80s is made in Japan. Well, guess what? Marty McFly he was right. Well, when he told Doc, all the best stuff is made in Japan. Well, I can tell you one thing: all the best stuff is not made in China. It never was, ever, and it's still not, and it's just getting worse. So be thinking about that. Don't just be going through Wally and saying, "Hey, that's a really great product. I think I'll buy it," and then it's crap. Or you could have found example. We want to make our own noodles and everything, so just looked on Marketplace and found one of those noodle presses. Where you can make your own noodles. Sure, we could have bought one at Wally that would have fallen apart probably the first time that we would have used it, or whatever. Yeah, the pasta maker. And so, yeah, but be wise with what you buy. Okay. Let's see. Oh, here's another thing too. I needed another set of tires for the Subaru. Yes, I could buy brand new tires. We own a shop. I could buy the tires at cost. And I'm thinking, I don't want to spend. For me, my price is still right around $450. So I thought, I've been looking for about the last 6 months on Marketplace for the tires that fit it. lo and behold, all of a sudden, because this is now November, and even though it's 70 degrees out there today, and it was 75 yesterday, which is very weird. A set of 4 brand new, near brand new. I mean, these things probably they don't have any wear on them at all. Four snow tires of the proper size showed up for $200. I couldn't believe it. Contacted the guy, super nice Hispanic guy, super nice. We had a great conversation. Running 2 jobs, just trying to do what he can for his family. I don't know where he got the tires. I don't really care. We examined them all. Met in a parking lot. They were wonderful. Now here's the deal. I can take the summer tires that I've got on the Sub now. I can take them off. I can run these snows for the wintertime. Put those other tires back on. Now I have the ability to do that, but still mounting and balancing tires is not that expensive. And then I'll get it, and I can put the snows back on the following winter. My point is, they were near new tires. Okay, so you got to be careful buying used tires. Okay, I'll just tell you that. I know what I'm doing, so I'm just using that as an example. That's what I did. It's worked for me, and that's going to work out great. Let's talk about Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think running out to find the best deals on Black Friday.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
She won't tell you that. I'll tell you that.
I went a few times a long time ago for the 5 a.m.
Well, you had some kind of real pushback on not going again, did you? I mean,
not really. I saw what was going on out there, and it got a little crazy and violent even in a couple times, and I thought, yeah, I'm out of this. I don't want to be a part, and I'm not finding what I want to buy for my family on these sales. So I backed away from that completely, and I don't partake.
Well, okay, think about this. So, a family member, I'm just going to say that, a family member who is probably not going to watch this channel anyway, love him to death. He doesn't do this anymore. He would buy laptops, computers, home computers, TVs, you name it, and have this stuff delivered. And I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, it was a great deal. It was always a great deal. And then he would return everything. Year after year, he would return everything. I'm like, what are you doing? And like I say, he's gotten over that. He still has some spending problems. We'll put it that way. And doesn't think like us, and that's okay. I mean, you don't have to. Again, you don't have to think like us. You don't have to do anything that we're doing. In fact, you could just think that we're idiots and just shut us off now. But we're just trying to help you out. So anyway, so Black Friday, yeah. I'm going to be sleeping in as I do actually, I'm going to be working on Friday.
Yep.
We'll both be working on Friday.
Too.
And but yeah, we're done with that. Our mentality really went from, we'll talk about the cars there, from needing newer cars and in our 20s and fixing up the things that, instead of having the newer stuff. As it turned out, the newer stuff broke just as much, but we still had the car payment and the higher insurance and all that other stuff and everything too. So, let's see. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. We didn't want to beleaguer the subject here and everything, because we've talked about finances before and everything. But it really, guys, for you to be able to do what even close to what most people on these channels are doing, you got to rein it in. And the no buy revolution is a serious thing that you really got to do. Here's some instances. When you go into the grocery store, you see people doing. I'm so glad to see people doing this. They have calculators. We do it. We don't have to. I don't need to know how much we're spending, but we still do it anyway, because we want to make sure that we are keeping a budget just exactly like we teach. And we always pay with cash. Always pay with cash. So don't pay with credit card. Don't pay with debit. Don't let the bank know where you're at and what you're doing.
And it helps you to be more accountable to yourself.
It does.
This is how much I'm spending on my groceries, and it's not just. I think it's mind numbing to just use your card.
It is.
And not really pay attention to what you're spending.
It's more of an accountable thing, going to the bank and actually pulling out what you need for that month. We cash my check. We do just a phone over the, we take a picture of it and it deposits it into your check. I hate going to our local credit union. It's in a bad section of town, which is really weird for where we live. But and then we sometime that week we stop off and we go to the ATM and we just we pull out the amount of money that we're probably going to need for that week, and that has helped immensely. So, guys, we appreciate you watching. We really do. Again, you don't have to take our advice, but if you do, there's going to be years down the road. Here, I'm going to throw out one last thing. Get a financial advisor who actually cares about you, and I'm going to tell you, they're rare. They're rare. We went through probably a half a dozen of them. No, more. Maybe half a dozen of them probably.
Yeah.
Who just flat did not care. And the guy that we have now is amazing. He's just absolutely amazing. If anything in our investments hiccups, he's on the phone, lets us know about what's going on. Never lets us. In fact, I told him, I said, if I ever have a stupid idea, tell me it's a stupid idea and that I shouldn't do it. I am giving you permission, and he does.
In a very nice,
yeah, he's a very nice way. So there's been a couple of times where I'll look at him and go, so what you're telling me is that this is stupid. He'll go, yeah. So anyway, hey, with that, we'll just let you go. If we're trying to put this out maybe before Thanksgiving and before Christmas. If you're catching us at a different time of the year, there's a lot of good information here too. But if you happen to be watching this before Thanksgiving, before Christmas, just be thinking about what you need to do. Don't overspend, okay? One last thought for Christmas this year, and we did it last year. We're expanding it when the whole family's going to do it. Is we're going to be focusing on giving gifts that we have made for other people, okay, instead of bought. Okay, so we thought of a couple of ideas here because we're just trying to give you guys ideas on how you can do the no buy revolution, whatever you want to call it, So talk about going out to eat, because that's a huge one, by the way.
Yeah.
You don't realize how much you're spending going out to eat. Now, if you're not going out to eat already, look at it. Are you still doing Starbucks in the morning or in the evening? Are you doing okay? If you're doing Starbucks once a month, take that out a year and add that times 12. How much you spend per month times 12? That's still a lot of money. Anyway, go ahead.
We decided that we were not going to be going out to eat all the time anymore because we had an epiphany at one point about how much we were spending on eating out, including coffee and whatever, ice cream, all those little outings. And so our dates out, if you want to call them that, because we enjoy going out on a little date, we go to Dairy Queen for a $7 burger and fries, and you get a sundae with it at the Dairy Queen that we go to. And we share the sundae because he gets a bigger meal. And that's our little date. Once in a while, we'll go to somewhere nicer, but that's very rare.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, you may laugh at Dairy Queen, but I'll tell you what, between all of them, so you order, you see the picture up on the menu, and that's what you'd like to open the box and see. Mm-hmm. Well, at least at the Dairy Queen we go to, that's what you see. Yeah. I get one with 2 patties, bacon, everything, and it looks like something that I would have made at home. It's not all smashed down and wrapped up and bleeding ketchup and everything and we literally spend $18 and some cents on the 2 of us. Mm-hmm. And so if you're a single, you go in there and buy the $7 meal, guarantee you'll be full. I get the number one, whatever. I mean, the point is, going out to eat can be very, very expensive, and so that's what we do. The other one I'll talk about this was our poop scoop service. So when we first started, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it was like $32, $34 a month. We figured, okay, we're busy, it's not that big of a deal. All of a sudden, what was it, $68? Yeah, $68. I said, there's just no way. There's no way, because take that out times 12. That's $800 and some dollars. So I called the lady to cancel our service, got a hold of the receptionist. She goes, well, It's only $68. And I said, times 12. And it was a long pause. She had not done the math either. And she goes, oh, yeah, I guess that is 800 and some dollars a year.
When I was a kid, my brothers and I were the ones out there in the yard picking
Yep.
up the dog poop.
Yep. And
you
so,
know, and why not go back to that and train our children how to be responsible and take care of those things?
that's it. Work ethic. Yep. In fact, I just did it today. I do it about every 2 weeks because I've got a lot of stuff to do and everything, you know. So it took me all of 10 minutes. And so, you know, it's the little stuff, guys. So anyway, why don't you go ahead and close this up?
Thanks for watching today. We appreciate your being on here with us. Give us your comments and like and subscribe. Share this with some others if you'd like. And hope to see you again soon.
Bye.